Hello, hello, friends, old and new. Deis Ferrous here with some more Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Excuse me. Apologies for those of you on YouTube who may be wondering about the jump between last episode and this episode. I had a bit of an issue with the recording and lost that. So, to summarize what you ended up missing last week, or not last week, yesterday, I should say, my bad. We did Cassia's quest where we met with the Novice Nobilite. We're talking about with them, learned a lot about Cassia and her, what's the proper term? Her forebear, I guess. The head of House Orcelio before her, and a lot of the messed up stuff that woman, I think woman, established that is now kind of being blamed on Cassia as she's the new heiress. One of the Novice Nobilite's representatives, Elena, I believe her name was, attempted an assassination on Cassia, which failed. We captured her, questioned her and the House Orcelio regent, and kind of got the whole TLDR rundown of House Orcelio's recent history of the past 100 years under, I want to say her name was Toriana, the last house head. But we end up asking Cassia what she wants to do with Elena and the regent, and just kind of her opinions on how to wrap up the whole delegation going on. And she elected to spare Elena, give her a proper trial. House Orcelio would make a 100-year contract with the von Valancius dynasty to work with them as navigators. She would stay on my ship as my navigator and in my retinue. And she would really only return to House Orcelio when it was absolutely necessary that the head of House Orcelio be crowned, essentially. Shortly after that, we popped over to Jesavon 4, I think it is, because I'm completely misread. I misread the quest and thought it wanted us to go to Jesavon. Not that we just discovered it, because I just went, okay, what planet are we going to? Saw Jesavon, like, okay, we gotta go to Jesavon for this. No, we're just looking for more traces of the genetic corruption throughout the Coronis Expanse, and Jesavon's is the only planet we have that marked on. Then, we did something else that I'm blanking on. But as of right now, something I'm very happy that I did is that I did not start the new ruler quest. As if I did... Oh, I did also look into critical tasks. Apparently this has failed just because there's a bug where randomly at Act 2 or Act 3, if you, even if you complete this quest, the quest will just be marked as failed, but it doesn't mess up any of the endings or anything further along the line. It's just a visual glitch, which thank goodness, because that confused the heck out of me when I saw this. But I looked into it, and if I were to have started the ascension to the throne, that actually would have made it so that I failed Cassia and Jai's quest, because I didn't talk to them on the Void ship, because it's just completing Chapter 2 triggers a time skip. So thank goodness I didn't do that, because that would have bothered me a lot to fail 2 quests for something so minor like that.
It is so fortunate you have come. I admit I was seeking you out myself. After the events on Dargonus, it felt like an anthracite grey mantle had dropped on my shoulders. I spent a long time thinking about our very first meeting and what happened next. I cannot wait to shake off this dreary color.
So yeah, I'm very happy that I looked into that, and am able to rectify that, because if I failed both those companion quests, I would have just been very upset, especially with all the work that I did for Jive, just because I didn't talk to them on my ship before a time skip that I didn't know was coming.
It was very naive of me to follow in the footsteps of the man who raised me in a gilded cage. And I was deaf to the needs of my own house. But you opened my eyes. As the future Novateur, I must gain wisdom to restore House Orselio to its former glory, no matter the cost. Thank you. It will be an honor to keep guiding your vessel through the Sea of Souls, for as long as the needs of our dynasties are aligned.
And that's all it took to complete the quest, apparently. Talk to her, hit continue once, quest complete. Oh my god, I'm even more relieved that I checked that before doing the Magne Accessio. Why don't we talk about something else?
You will hear no objection from me, Lord Captain.
You did not mention the Starway Atlas when we met.
I would never reveal this secret to an outsider, but you have come to my aid more than once already. The Starway Atlas is a sacred artifact of House Orselio. It helps our navigators chart a course through the warp. This crystal, the Atlas, has been inside me for as long as I can remember, giving me strength. But the others... I noticed the renegades in the palace were choked by ashen ghosts of despair when we met face to face. I swear the ghosts were reaching for their atlases.
Certain navigators in your house fear the Atlas's powers.
Certain navigators in my house have tried to kill me more than once. But the tales of Tisiphane's brutality, I am beginning to wonder. What if they are all true? What if I will be a new tormentor to those who serve me?
You said you wouldn't share your secret with just anyone. Does that mean I am someone to you?
I didn't. I only meant that... I am at ease in your company.
I do kind of dislike that you don't get an opportunity that you don't get any dialogue options to like help her relax and like reassure that like you're not gonna be a monster or anything. Your heart stutters, a searing heat envelops your shoulders, throat, and chest, and your brain grows foggy. The by now familiar influence of Cassia's powers is intoxicating your mind more than usual. Cassia looks away, a subtle blush blooming on her pale cheeks. She is adorable. Thank you for
Thank you
telling
for
me.
listening.
What is your special sight reveal?
The colorful shards of stained glass have risen up and enveloped Magos Haneman in a swirl of speculations. The silvery glint of metal no longer conceals his anxiety, nor does his scarlet robe conceal his doubts. The canvas of Kibella's soul has become a battlefield. I see sparks of acid green doubt giving rise to new shades of regret, pride, and cruelty. They are ruining her former palette of anthracite and scarlet, mixing into ever more murky and frightening colors.
This is where I must beg my leave.
I have enjoyed your company. Thank you for the conversation.
Ah, yes, and I just remembered that the other thing that we did last stream that those of you on YouTube would be missing out on is when we left for Jessavon and we did our first warp jump, Irilette came to visit us, as she noticed that she basically noticed in her Aldari way that we're feeling kind of stressed and depressed. So she helped us meditate in the Aldari fashion, go into our inner world, and kind of confront our doubts and concerns. And it was actually a very pleasant experience. Yeah, that's awesome. Hello, Jai.
Shireen, light of my eyes, giver of boons and savior of the needy. From now on, two sons will grace the firmament of the Font Valancius Protectorate. One bright and powerful, like the rogue trader himself, and the other slightly more humble, like his unassuming partner, the diligent owner of the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, and all-around delight, Jai Hidari.
Jai Haidari tenderly holds the piece of script-covered parchment like a young mother nursing her newborn child.
As I promised before, my crew will be your eyes and ears across the entire expanse, Shireen. Just give them time. And of course, the assistant to official trade representative Jai Hidari is already rushing to Dargonis to deliver goods of rare and exquisite quality to you and your people, O master of many worlds. And once again, thank you, Shireen, from the bottom of my humble heart.
Jai's eyes shine playfully in the perpetual half-lights of the bridge. Enjoy freedom, Jai. I see you found it much to your taste.
A taste that is sweeter than honey, and more titillating than the scent of steamy, young bodies, Shireen.
Jai flashes a conspiratorial smile, leans forward and shamelessly holds your gaze, completely disregarding the officer's disapproving looks as she waits for your reply. I'm sorry, I have no interest in relations of that kind.
No? Huh. The Aji must have clouded my mind, Shireen. Or was it your piercing gaze? Either way, I only wanted to thank you for your assistance and give you something in addition to this humble gift.
Jai draws back with a sigh of genuine disappointment, tucking an escaped strand of her hair behind her ear. Jai produces a small parcel she obviously hid in advance. Battle-scarred cape. That's neat. I'll see you later.
Oh, I have no doubt you will.
Lordy. Okay, there we go. Since we're here on the bridge, I think I'm real quickly going to talk to everyone else that needs to be talked to on the bridge, which is Idira, Vigdis, someone else. When Idira sees you, her lips curve into a smile, and she nods to something over your shoulder. Epitaph, Incident N872-04, Tech Blight. Do these words mean anything to you? Perhaps your abilities could tell you something.
They mean nothing to me. They're just words. Ah! A whisper. So quiet, I barely caught it. Like a feather landing on a pile of down. Something about damned ambitions, antiquity, terrible antiquity. And chance. Chance through it all.
Interesting.
Oh, now I have a headache. And the stupid bloody whisper wasn't much help.
She falls silent and looks at you in surprise. I'd like your augury, Idira. What awaits for me in the future?
All right, let's hear what they're whispering about you. Hmm?
Idira laughs and rubs her hands together, and suddenly freezes with a vacant smile on her face, her head slightly tilted. You feel goosebumps appear on your skin, and your collar begins to waver ever so slightly, as if moved by a breeze from a half-open door.
I'm sorry, Lord Captain. The voices are going wild. I can't make out a thing. I'll try to rein them in, somehow. But for now...
Understandable. Take your time, Idira.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Alrighty, so it's Idira, Voxmaster, Reavor. Was it just those two? Oh, and Abelard. Yeah, we got a second here. Transportation of some goods. Who is the lowest? Strap is really the exploratory is my lowest strap. That's surprising, actually. Let's see. Do do do. Okay, hold on to that for now still. Um, do do do. I know I don't need to keep all this stuff because most of them I'm just not gonna use. I'm just a hoarder, honestly. Straight up, simple as. So like I know I can get rid of a lot of this really. What are you? Glory and splendor of its mighty owner. Is that different from the servo skill I currently have? Pollen of the Unreal. Interesting. Modified. Wow. 35 to 70, 24 to 48. Do flak ammo. We're gonna keep. Keep that. Onto that for now. Bombers we can get rid of. Yeah, that's a downgrade. 4 Aldari sonic torpedoes. Melted torpedoes. I'm gonna hold on to that. I might test that out. That's a straight downgrade. Long range, which is nice. Um, 30 damage. I'm gonna hold on to you and swap that over. Test that out. Select tradable, sell all that. Gonna grab everything we can, because no reason not to. Weapons. Deadly Repeater. Interesting. Arc Rifle 13. No, that's an upgrade. Deadly Repeater. Kit. Ooh, that could honestly. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. Vox Beacon. That's neat. 60% of the way is not moved. Gains plus each every wound from combat stimulants. I don't use any combat stimulants. Okay, 10 of it. So, hold on to that for now. Stun grenades can go. I really don't use that many grenades. I could really probably sell a lot more grenades than this. Okay, after Opticon, next lowest would be the Cosmolica mission. Select tradable, sell, trading, buy all available. Thank you. Drukari weapon efficiency. I'm gonna get somebody who can use that. Heavy stubber. I think that's a downgrade for Argenta. Bolters, 10 to 14, 6 rounds, 15 each. Cursebringer. The Roar. Sniper rifle. Bane of Sorrow. I'm pretty sure that that's a downgrade for what Argenta has. Cursebringer, I'm going to drop. The Roar is an exotic sniper rifle. That's neat, but I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna hold on to that, because I might get someone who could use that. I doubt it, though. I think it's Drukari weapon proficiency and be built for heavy weapons. Though, honestly, that is just a big chunker. Cruel Fate is just better. Is just better than that sniper rifle. Heavy Xenomesh. Psycho Breastplate. Shield. Yeah, I think this is going to be worse than what Avalon currently has, but I'll check later. Oh, hello. Kills the target with a single range attack for the first time in combat. The wearer immediately makes an additional attack. That's for Yearlat. Take an attack of opportunity against the wearer. The enemy is pushed back when so. Eh. At a range of 10 or further by 20%. 16 coercion. Eh. Have willpower each time they choose an ally or themselves as a target of an ability. Eh. 39 mental. Wait, which one's death from above? Is that what I'm thinking that is? Oh my god. That is insane. So, info, what is that based off of? 3 times where is resolve. Holy cow. Shit made with Blade Dance increases the wearer's critical hit chance by 6. Oh my god. Fucking Cabela's getting an upgrade in a second. Holy cow. Just those two. Fellowship of the Void. Mutation, select tradable. Not gonna get us much more, but we can get these 3. You can take that back. Cabela and Yearlat are just getting huge upgrades. That's cool. Don't have anyone really built for that now, though. Hold on to it. It's like I don't have any arch militants. Anyone who's running arch militants, I should say. To you is Imperial Navy. There you go. You can grab all that. Let's see. Targeting you, getting 9% hit chance and 20% critical hit chance. And each sector. Ooh, that's just good. 12 damage boards die. That's just a straight up upgrade. Shots, 21 damage. Downgrade. 4. Get rid of that. Do critical hit chance. Short range dorsal plasma macro cannons. Each shot 10 damage per shot. Oh, I need a lot more. Oh, I didn't realize how much more. What's it called? I need for the Imperial Navy. I didn't realize how expensive they were. Tradable. There you go. Doesn't do me a ton, but we will get the Death World War Boots and gloves. So I thought we would. Oh, it's just okay. Weird. Fiction Iconoclast. All allies gain 60% hit chance against enemies adjacent to the wearer. That's not bad. Ooh, don't really need either of them, really. Okay, cool. Yeah, this way. The map feels so weird right now. Also, real quickly, since we got these upgrades, let's throw them on the team. First attack on the additional attack. Yeah. Free extra attack is just good. That's also really tempting. Kibella. Where's Resolve? How do I tell someone's Resolve? Oh, there it is. 5. It's not Swashbuckler, it's this one. But for me, that would do an extra 39. Holy cow. Anything to do? Plus 10 stack Resolve Vector. Is there anything? Team mental damage. Honestly, that's just really good. The flat damage might just be better than the stacking. Yes, enemy. The enemy explodes in a fountain of blood. Blade Dance. And Blade Dance is. Ah, I see. The wearer's turn. Yeah, that's pretty tempting. It's pretty solid, honestly. You can we can swap that out for the tome with excess. Overseer. That's that. I can give you the Vox Beacon. Let's see. Abelard. The Xenomesh. Human enemies. Plus 5 wounds. Yeah, I'll take the extra point of deflection, honestly. Shield. Ooh. Yeah, another deflection. Another deflection and 14% parry is actually really cool. Um. Ooh, yeah, Bane of Sorrow is an upgrade. Shin. 33% damage to Ducati enemies. It's fine. I could give you the Ashen Breath. That'd be kind of funny, honestly. Honestly. Cruel Fate, what do you do again? Honestly, I think I'm gonna swap that Cruel Fate for the Deadly Repeater, just because that feels more fun to have. Navigator Staff. And type of the Navigator. This next turn, this bonus action. Long till Navigator's next turn. Wow. Ooh. Allies gain plus 8 MP on their first turn. Whenever talking about Navigator power, they get 4 MP. But that one has 2. Like, I feel like the MP when I get hit with a Navigator power is a bit better. But has less. I'm gonna go with the infusing, honestly. I think that's a little bit more useful. Here is the Slick Body Glove. Upgrade for you there. Gotta upgrade Jai's armor. Good lord, I did not realize how outdated her armor was. Psyker's Breastplate. And I guess I can go to Adira. Oh no, you don't have heavy armor. Yeah, that doesn't actually matter then. Plus 10 to ballistic skill. Oh, that's Aldari equipment. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Cool. So, like, with all that done, I think we're pretty set. Yeah, we're set enough. Okay. Abelard.
Lord Captain.
Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight mean anything to you? They're connected to Theodora somehow.
No, definitely not. No, I don't recall anything like that.
For a moment, Abelard's eyes go blank, as if he has turned his attention inward. Then he blinks twice and says in a tone of surprise, I don't...
Lord Captain.
Okay. Interesting. Hello, Vigdis. When you approach, Vigdis pulls away from fine-tuning another box and bows her head. Lord Captain, the ship informed me of our imminent meeting. Can you recall anything unusual about Theodore's travels? Do the words Epitaph, Incident N872-04, or Tech Blight ring a bell? All of Lady Theodora's journeys could be considered unusual. Her odysseys were always audacious. As for the words you mentioned, none of them sound familiar to me as far as I could tell. Perhaps these are matters of long ago, of which only my predecessor or a past seneschal could have known apart from Lady Theodora herself. My grandfather never mentioned any such thing, and I never met the old seneschal. Except maybe the incident. I recall coming across this word in transmissions several times. I think it was repeated by the former engine seer, the one who perished during Conrad Voigtvir's uprising. He was describing it as the incident, something quite remarkable. Apparently, at some point in the past, the entire ship was hit by a massive system failure. All systems stopped responding for 1/5 of a second. Most of the crew, including myself, as I was likely on board at that time, did not notice anything strange. But tech priests are sensitive to such things. That is all I could tell you, Lord Captain. I wish I could help more. That will be all for now. I live to serve, Lord Captain. Alright, where is Ravor? Here's Einric. Solomon and Einric. Ah, there you are, Ravor. The tall man before you appears to be woven from tendons and muscles. Blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with a respectful nod. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman Ravor, at your service. Does the word epitaph mean anything to you? Or perhaps Incident NH72-04? Or even Tech Blight? It all has something to do with Theodore's travels. Rather extraordinary travels at that. Can't say they do, Lord Captain. Doesn't ring any bells. Then again, remembering all the places Lady Theodora went is... His brow furrows. Epitaph, incident. We've always had heaps of incidents happening on board, but... Through my implants, I feel at one with this ship. And I sense that. And I don't even know when it happened exactly. It started behaving differently. Became more responsive. Livelier. Yeah, livelier is exactly the word. When you said epitaph and incident, it just dawned on me. Pardon my bungled report, Lord Captain. But that's all I've got to say on that. Right, I must take my leave. Lord Captain. Ravor acknowledges you with a nod and turns away. Talk to Nomos about Theodora's cachets. Alright. The servitor built into the huge cogitator turns its head toward you. The box emits a rasping voice. Hello! Nomos welcomes your visit. What have you been doing, Nomos? We have been studying and observing, and helping the ship when we can. So many mechanisms. They would have suffered without our input. What about the research notes on the tech blight that we obtained from the cache on Kiavagama? This name is also unknown to us. It is related to Nomos, although we do not understand how. Incident NH72-04 was a ship-wide system failure of some kind, and it and Epitaph had something to do with the ship flying better. The incident marked the beginning of us. The ship became better because of us, too. These are all links to the same chain, but we cannot piece them together yet. The people who accompanied Theodora on her travels are strangely unaware of the incident and Epitaph. Human shells are subject to external influences. Perhaps someone purged their memory archives, or perhaps they simply do not want to access them. It is a shame that no information was obtained, but Nomos are grateful that you tried. I must take my leave. The cyber gargoyle's gaze tracks you as you walk away from the cogitator. Okay, so... Alright. If that's the case, then... all you have to do now is just wait and do the ceremony. So let's get the ceremony going. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this takes up the rest of the stream, because this is going to be... I bet this is going to be the Arc 2 finale. Oh, real quickly, let me just double check. You're all done. No projects that need to be done. Von Valancia's Palace. It doesn't really matter who we take, because everyone's just going to be hanging around anyways. So, you know, let's go. Let's partay. Just gonna go straight through to get to the Master of Ceremonies. I'm pretty sure the other option was the Administratum, which makes it weird that we couldn't land at the throne room. Unless that was the throne room, and I just didn't check, and I assumed, and now I'm wasting time by running all the way through like this. But, c'est la vie. Oopsie poopsie. Wasted 30 seconds of our time, you know, whatever. Big whoop. Master of Ceremonies. The servant in fine clothes offers you a deep bow. Your lordship, it is a great honor to serve you in an undertaking as monumental and glorious as the Magnae Accessio ceremony. You've been entrusted with arranging the festivities? I have indeed, your lordship. I have been given the high honor of being steward of this eminent palace, and on the occasion of your lordship's ascension, I will be overseeing the preparations for the ceremony. House Drivestem, to whom you entrusted the arrangements for the festivities, wishes you good fortune and is sincerely delighted to serve you as they have served the Honorable Theodore von Valancius before you. Is everything ready? The palace decorations are prepared. And we are ready to begin at your command. The festive activities in the capital have likewise been arranged, and the guests of honor either have arrived on the planet, or are awaiting invitation in near orbit. The servants are already in your chamber to see to it that you are impeccably garbed for the occasion. Then let us begin. May the Emperor be with us this day. Yeah, I figured from here on this is going to be just a stream of a lot of talking. A lot of just shooting the shit with other nobles and stuff. Rejoice, von Valancius subjects! In honor of his ascension, the new rogue trader generously shows you his favor. In his unfathomable benevolence, the rogue trader has decreed that every soul be given a day's rations and a personal fuel cell so that they all may be fed and warm on this day. Praise the rogue trader's magnanimity. You know, I was about to praise the coins for all landing in different places and slowly building up. But as I was about to say that, I noticed that some coins started to despawn. Like, they all land in different areas, but I noticed that coins that were already there for long enough started to despawn. Which I think is just kind of funny, honestly. Like, it's not like this is a cutscene where it would keep building up. Like, this is a scripted cutscene that's only going to last so long. The crowd below is roiling, their electrified exaltations filling the air of Dargonis. Thousands of throats chant your name. You are the apex of this world and all others. Amplified by 100 boxes, the voice of the Master of Ceremonies booms. Rejoice, subjects of Dargonis! You have been granted the felicity of witnessing your master. A great honor is bestowed upon us by rogue trader Deis von Valancius. Cleanser of Giannis, who with one hand brought death upon the blaspheming Xenos, and with the other exterminated the despicable worshippers of the archenemy. Gracious protector of footfall, patron of trade. As hush falls over the crowd, who gaze upon you in adoration, many of them bear terrible scars from the recent battle of Dargonis. Like children, they await the word of their almighty father. Fear not the coming days. Henceforth you are all my charges. Joyful cries carry your name upward, beyond the atmosphere of Dargonis, all the way to all the way to the Emperor's throne. I did like that. The very bottom when you just lean into the Master of Ceremonies and speak into the Vox channel saying, am I supposed to say something here, dude? So much gold and white. Cassius stares at the crowd, enraptured. It seems this massive gathering of exalting people is just as exotic and captivating to her as the sight of a bona fide navigator, a representative of the mysterious and powerful novice nobility is to your subjects. Adequate. Dargonus has not disappointed. Abelard forces a smile of satisfaction from his face and whispers to you. You remember the next part, yes? Your lordship will be asked to take an oath. The Master of Ceremonies bows to you with great reverence. Let the oath of the Von Valancius dynasty be taken. Please repeat after me, your lordship. I, Deis, rogue trader by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. I, Deis, rogue trader by the grace of the Emperor, vow to be the paragon of humanity. Your lips repeat the words of the ancient oath. Unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost, to triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness. You hear a rumble. It is the roar of the sea of your subjects. With jubilation and devout fear, they welcome your ascension. It is done. Cool, I'm officially a rogue trader. You'll need to talk to Winterscale and Corda. Your gatherings look odd and unusual. I'll remember this. This exotic statue, which formerly pleased the eye of Xenos, now adorns the palace of this dynasty of glorious explorers of the Coronis Expanse. The noble features of this guardian of humanity burn with righteous fury and stern resolve. Okay, before I forget, what is the difference between Herald Servo Skull, Scribe Servo Skull? Interesting. Excuse me. Gonna see what kind of dialogue the Scribe Servo Skull has as we go about. Scattered haphazardly around the table are bottles of expensive Amasec, plates of Provisia Nobilis, and Hookah of Obscura. It looks like the Herald actually says the same stuff. Drivestem. Hello, friends. Hello, all of you bowing friends. Governor Urban de Drivestem stands surrounded by high-born guests like a planet orbited by many moons. All of his charm is directed at a man in resplendent power armor, adorned with the sigil of the Inquisition. But as soon as you approach, Drivestem is the first to give you an elegant bow, getting ahead of the rest in the expression of loyalty. This is a great day, your lordship. I welcome you to my palace, honored guests. You are buffeted by a salvo of congratulations and compliments. Study the faces of the nobles in attendance. Drivestem is, obviously, still the leader of Dargonus aristocracy, but judging by the courtesy he is showing to young Sarvok, he clearly wants to strengthen his relationship with that house. The elder Sarvok and Gaprak are nowhere to be seen, which may mean only one thing. Sarvok, whose line holds you in little regard, is surely attempting to draw Gaprak to his side. Which could be quite advantageous to Lady Gaprak, after all. The disaster on Kiavagama has left her family in an extremely vulnerable position. The Viserians stand apart, their exclusion from the rest palpable. Look at the guests. Among the aristocrats surrounding the opulently dressed Drivestem, you notice a couple of young nobles in Sarvok and Gaprak colors. It would seem the major noble families of Dargonus have decided to introduce their younger members to high society. The tall man in gray power armor, adorned with with a skull, is undoubtedly a high-ranking inquisitor. He keeps to the periphery of the conversation, seldom deigning to comment. Next to him is his entourage, a rangy warrior in black armor and a tech priest dressed in red, whose face is hidden behind a brass mask. Abelard stands somewhat apart from the others, as if reluctant to approach Drivestem. Next to him is a young woman, and you notice a family resemblance between them. My greetings to the member of the Holy Inquisition. Rumor completed. He responds with a dignified bow, his face calm and unfaltering. Fucking big dude. Look at those fucking mutton chops too, goddamn. And my greetings to you, esteemed Deis Valancius. May shadows never darken the lights of the Astronomicon that guides you. The Inquisitor's companion, a crimson-robed member of the Adeptus Mechanicus, bows to you. From behind the brass mask, mounted with dozens of augmetics, comes a metallic grasp. Glory to the Von Valancius heir! Study the Inquisitor and his companion. Failed. The Lord Inquisitor appears to be in an amiable temper today. His expression is relaxed, and his calm gaze does not bode any immediate or harsh punishment. Tech use failed. The tech priest augmentations seem unfamiliar and bizarre. Implants such as these are only available to members of the blessed hierarchy of the Adeptus Mechanicus, and one would not come upon such sacred relics even at the highest echelons of the nobility. We have not been introduced. An oversight, to be sure. My name is Xavier Calcazar, and I have the honor of serving as a member of the illustrious Order of Xenos, the head of the Coronis Expanse Conclave and the Lord Inquisitor of this region. It is my unending task to ensure this sector's readiness to meet external threats and resist internal corruption. And who is this member of the Honorable Priesthood of the Adeptus Mechanicus? This is Brass Whisper, which, naturally, is not his real name. The esteemed Majos is a member of my retinue. There are times when I am forced by my duty to the Emperor to deal with xenotechnology, and Brass Whisper ensures my safety in such moments. Works have been desecrated by Xenos are dangerous. They warrant... His whispering cuts off, replaced by heavy, ragged breathing. It seems that the tech priest's quiet voice is not an extravagant quirk, but rather a consequence of some injury. After catching his breath, Brass Whisper continues. Warrants due caution. An unexpected visit. I wasn't told. I, however, have been told all about you. The Inquisitor's face is impenetrable, but behind this mask, you detect a hint of mockery. Enjoy the party. This evening will certainly be illuminating. What were you all discussing just now? We were talking about the brutal Xenos raids on our fair Dargonis. So many victims, so much damage to our industries. Such a terrible shame it is that the warp current delayed our protector's arrival. There's an acidic hint to his words, but it is too faint for you to call him to account. Judging by young Sarbok's unpleasant smile, it is not just your imagination. Sharing the sector with the blasted Xenos is impossible. I hope we respond to their raid on Dargonis with a punitive campaign. Young Sarbok's smile is conceited and bloodthirsty. I see you hate the Xenos with all your heart. I do. This pestilence against the Emperor must be exterminated. He talks ardently and smoothly, like a commissar. He places his hand on the hilt of his finely adorned sword, his pale face ablaze with noble fury. Or they must be forced into servitude. Many Xenos are more useful alive and obedient than dead. The young man in Gapak colors speaks with sagacity and gravity, but his opinion seems to carry little weight in this circle. I kind of want to just look at Sarbon and go, and how many of you personally killed, buddy? Because Jocasta has just left such a bad taste in my mouth. I just don't like her family, just because of her. But young Kaplak is right. The Xenos are not just a threat, they are also an opportunity. Young Kaplak accepts your praise calmly and with dignity, as befits a smart boy lauded by his mother and father for his prudence. The Inquisitor standing among the guests clears his throat, quietly, but Kaplak's face instantly pales and sours. And what is your name? Your Lordship, allow me to introduce the daughter of Chancellor Clementia Versarian, and my great-granddaughter, Astartia. Abelard looks solemnly upon the young woman, with barely concealed pride. I am delighted to witness you, your lordship. Astartia bows, keeping her observant and intelligent eyes trained on you. Modesty forbids my esteemed forebear to say this himself, so I will. Our entire family is grateful to you for wishing to see someone of Versarian blood at your side as you claim your inheritance. Drisdom exchanges telling glances with young Sarbach, who, judging by his face, is suddenly finding the collar of his expensive frock coat uncomfortably tight. How are you finding the reception? It is difficult to put into words, your lordship. Never before have I seen such a grand and striking ceremony. Astartia's voice sounds passionate and inspired, and her eyes shine with barely contained excitement. But I was so much more amazed by your generosity. The provisions that are being handed out in the streets of the capital will make the difference between life and death for so many of those who lost everything in the Xenos attack. Perception test succeeded. Young Kaprak keeps staring at Astartia curiously and a little bashfully. It seems the boy likes her. Aw, that's cute. Where are the rest of your kin, Abelard? They are in the city, preoccupied with running the festivities and watching over some of the more crucial services. No incidents can be allowed to ruin your ceremony. Astartia frowns and adds peevishly. I asked the esteemed Abelard to put me to some important task too, but he bid me to attend the reception, where I can do nothing to serve your lordship. Sarbach smirks. If I had known, I too would have asked Abelard to let you miss the party. So you should become my servant as well? I don't. This guy's not really is not really winning the Sarbach over to me, honestly. He's making him worse. Astartia flushes and starts talking quickly and with fire in her voice. It would seem that she finds work-related conversations far more interesting than court gossip. Of course! I've been working on a project for the last 4 years. We could set up... enough, Astartia! I highly doubt that his lordship is interested in listening to the fantasies of a young woman about how to run his protectorate. Abelard shoots Drisdom a glare so dark and bloodthirsty that the latter instinctively starts looking for the nearest warden. Hold your tongue, Urband. I decide who may speak and who may not. Please continue, Astartia. Heartened, Astartia continues in the tone of a seasoned administratum clerk. Our suggestion is to set up a chain of stations in the void, plasma beacons that would signal the passing of ships. By placing them in logistically sound locations, we could simplify our ships' routes so they may split long warp jumps into a series of safer, shorter jumps from one beacon to another. This would have a positive effect on the overall safety of journeys and the accessibility of colonies. More and more technical terms and percentages creep into her speech. She quotes Lex Mechanic reports and accounts of starship captains. Astartia's vigor and sharp mind are enough to silence even the most venomous of commentators. They all stand there in silence, trying to digest what she is saying. Abelard surveys the quiet nobles with triumph, then looks at his great-granddaughter with pride. I hope the Versarian family gives Abelard the credit he deserves. Absolutely, your lordship. We greatly respect him for his wisdom, and he repays us with attention and kindness, she says warmly. I am obliged, dear Startia. It looks like Abelard is somewhat embarrassed by the turn this conversation has taken. Enjoy the evening. Thank you, your lordship. I'm ready to accept your congratulations. Hi guys, just phasing through several people. don't think we need a whole cutscene for that, honestly. In that case, allow me to be the first to offer them. Drivestem snaps his fingers, and several servants approach you with gifts. The governor points at a thin, curved Judicati blade. My soldiers took this splendid trophy from the body of one of the Xenos commanders. The weapon is too beautiful and forbidden for anyone but your lordship. Severed hand. Ooh. 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 Enemies hit with this weapon must pass a toughness resistance. Cannot attack for. Oh my goodness. Dude, get Cabela. Jukari weapon proficiency. That's so. And then just have her jumping around and making so enemies just can't attack. That's really good. That's really good. Holy cow. Now I'm really looking forward to when I do a heretical run, because I was already thinking I'm going to do a heretical run of this in my free time at some point as a blade dancer, because that just seems fun. That's going to be so much fun to use. Young Sarbak squeezes through to be next, pushing Kaprak aside with confidence. The Sarbak family is just dicks. Are just unpleasant. I do not like them. Your lordship, House Sarbak anticipates the onset of unsettled and bloody times. To make the ungodly Xenos cower at your approach, my family humbly presents you with a dozen pieces of secondary armaments for your ship. Young Kaprak bows ceremoniously. House Kaprak is delighted to. Oh wait. House Kaprak is delighted to present to you this blessed work of the Omniscience Smiths. May this locator matrix, which took the holy artisan an entire lifetime to create, always show you the right path. Oh, that's neat. Plus 15 to awareness. Having let the aristocrats go first as a sign of deference, Abelard is the last to speak. Your lordship, House Versarian possesses no relics worthy of your acceptance. We are rich and talented and hard-working people. As a sign of our loyalty, I humbly offer you my flesh and blood. 100 of my kin will go to colonies in your protectorate and use all their talents so that the world in your charge may prosper. People, adamantine, and plasteel. Neat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. A fragment of an Aldari pillar, a trophy to the rogue trader and a never-before-seen oddity to most citizens of the Imperium. Hello, beasties. Wild xenobeasts are growling ferociously, adding a flare of thrilling danger to the mood of Palace. Gregoris Starks. Strax? The person responsible for maintaining security during the ceremony has carried out their dues adequately. The rest is inconsequential. Weird that he's like a marked name dude, but like, you know, like what? Huh? Okay. The Ducati captive is angrily muttering curses directed at the detestable monkey, promising horrible torture for everyone present. Yeah. Slim it, knife ears. The magnificent altar to the God Emperor is wreathed in fumes of precious incense. Oh, and hello, Inscribia. These magnificent paintings were created in a style that fully complies with the artistic canon approved by the ecclesiarchy. You may send my regards to your master of ceremonies. He managed to complete this trivial procedure with minimal error. Oh, that's a nice fucking Lehman Russ.
Excellence matters.
This venerable Lehman Russ is known as a Scipian Punisher and has served the Von Valancius dynasty for 2 centuries. It was hit in the battle with the Xenos that inhabited Scipia too, but it heroically destroyed 63 enemy vehicles and brought victory to its comrades, securing its status as a relic blessed by the Emperor. That's honestly awesome. I don't want to know what's going on up there, but I'm gonna have to find out, aren't I? Hey, Cabela. Your subjects have turned the act of killing into amusement. This is a great sacrilege. Domin Deis, but have no fear. I will explain the will of the Undying One to the lay people. Alright, well, we got an elf, a Ducati. So take them down. That just looks like a dude? That guy looks mutated, I think. Fucking square in the chest on all of them. Mutant Gunner. Oh yeah, he deserves it. Condemned. I'm not sure the Condemned deserves it, but who am I to speak? I don't know what he's condemned for. I was kind of expecting a little bit more than like a I just shoot guys well. This eerily crackling Xenos trophy is a testament to how the omnisized gifts become twisted shadows of themselves in the hands of inhumans. Fight today. Propaganda poster. I think that's everything out here, unless I missed like a little question mark like that somewhere. So into the palace. Making pretty good time too. We still got an hour. Maybe I'll be able to do a little bit after this. Because it doesn't seem like most of my companions want to have like full conversations with me. So it should be pretty quick. As jubilant as this occasion may be, it cannot distract me from my duty. You go ahead and celebrate, Rogue Trader. Glyto and I will make sure no one ruins your day. Ah, thank you, Solomon. I appreciate it, brother. Anything going on in here? Oh yeah, we can upgrade the service stations. Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, Anzu. How my boy doing? Oh, he got me a med kit. When you approach, Anzu sends out a piercing screech and throws something at your feet. You reach down and realize that your bird has brought you a gift. As for where and when Anzu could have found it, it will probably never be known. You will probably never know. It's the sign of the Aquila. Ah, it's my good Anzu. Love my bird. He's so useful. Anzu lets out a piercing cry, wings outstretched. It seems the eagle understands the meaning of the sacred gesture and gesture perfectly, and has decided to bless you in return. Aw, thank you, buddy. Get a nice little panorama shot. Much slower than I was expecting. There we go. That's what I was expecting. Honestly, I was still expecting a little bit more at least. Right, let's go check in on my other companions. Let's see, we got all y'all over here, Cassie over there, Pascal up in the back. Neat. Let's tackle this counterclock. Actually, is this counterclockwise? No, this would be clockwise. My bad. These swords belong to a presumptuous governor of Vavos VI, who staged a revolt hundreds of years ago. The insurrectionist's hands preserved against decay still rest on the sword's hilt. Wow. These sinister Xenos instruments of death are now trophies demonstrating the invincibility of House von Valancius. Hey, Dila. This is pure chaos. How can people think so much and so haphazardly? May the Emperor keep you, May the Emperor keep you. Wait, yeah, may the Emperor keep you, Deis. A great day. Am I the one that feels like that sentence is just weird? I hope at least this celebration in your honor won't end in the shootouts. You and me both, sister. It's, Heinrich. A group of aristocrats stands apart from the rest of the nobles. Their whispering carries a tinge of displeasure. The clear leader of this gathering is a gaunt, bilious-faced man dressed in Sarbok colors. This must be Macarius himself, head of the house. He offers you a ceremonious bow. My congratulations, your lordship. May the Omnisire grant you understanding. The woman with whom he is conversing, the one dressed in a robe with gear-shaped adornments, is Toriana Gaplak. It is difficult to read her face due to it being covered in numerous augmentations. Observe the guests. Toriana Kaprak looks rather anxious. Macarius Sarbach, dressed surprisingly plainly and austerely for an aristocrat of such high ranking, is frowning suspiciously. He came to the reception with a companion, a woman of dazzling beauty wearing a gilded augment necklace around her throat. His wife, probably. Hainrix, who joined the group unnoticed, mostly keeps silent, listening intently to their every word. Macarius, I'm surprised you deigned to make an appearance here this evening. Macarius' face twists into an unpleasant smile, which makes the artificial skin on the left side all the more prominent. I am a servant of the von Valancius dynasty. Had I not come, I would have committed an act of unacceptable insolence and damaged my family's honor. Macarius' wife offers you a charming smile, as if apologizing for her husband's vitriolic tone. Her large, dark eyes are brimming with curiosity. Why have you so displeased, Macarius? Macarius says with caution, I am your dynasty's loyal servant, but you have asked, and I will answer. Too long has the Coronis Expanse lived under the rule of rogue traders. The privileges granted to them make people think that commoners can dismiss the prohibitions of the Imperium. For the good of the sector, rogue traders must become paragons of the law, not exceptions to it. But do many warrant holders exhibit lawful conduct? No, they do not. Even you, your lordship, are the subject of the strangest of rumors, and you have just recently inherited your protectorate. Konrad Voigtier's people, for instance, claim that you had a hand in the esteemed Theodore's demise and accuse you of many other misdeeds. It doesn't matter whether or not their claims are true, the people hear them, believe them, and think that they may follow your example. I kinda want to just challenge this dude to a duel, that'd be kinda fun. Just straight up kill the dude. Rogue traders are not renegades vested with authority. We are the long arm of the Imperium. I shall prove it to you. I wouldn't dare accuse you of anything, your lordship. I'm simply concerned. If you happen to lay my concerns to rest, House Sarbach will be praying for your well-being every day. I wish to know more about House Sarbach. Macarius puffs out his chest and says proudly, the Sarbach line was one of the first noble houses to arrive in the Coronis Expanse. For millennia, we have served the Golden Throne and kept the faith. Sarbach warriors have bled in 100 wars and at different times have ruled a great many colonies of the von Valancius dynasty. Your cousin, Jocasta, became a new master-at-arms on my ship. I am pleased to hear it. Nothing in Macarius' face shows that he is glad for his cousin. I always worried that her character would cause our house a great deal of grief. And yet, in the end, the noble Sarbach blood was stronger than any personal shortcomings. I have faith that Jocasta will prove herself adequately. He forces a faint smile. Can I just flirt with this dude's wife right in front of him? Do I flirt with this dude's wife right in front of him? Yeah, fuck the Sarbachs. They're going 0 for 3 right now, you know? I'm not a fan of Jocasta. I'm not a fan of, the kid outside. I'm not a fan of Macarius. I'd like to become better acquainted with your wife. Macarius is visibly vexed by this shift in the conversation. His wife offers you a reserved smile. It is an honor to be in your company, your lordship. You could just point your fucking gun at Macarius. Just, you know, Macarius, god damn. Your countenance is familiar somehow. Could it be your resemblance to the image of Saint Maletta? I wouldn't dream of claiming to bear any resemblance to a great saint. I lack her virtue. Regina makes eyes at you before demurely lowering her gaze. Regina gives you a charming smile. Meanwhile, Toriana and Macarius are watching the conversation unfold, not quite believing their eyes and ears. It is my pleasure. Macarius is lucky to have such a beautiful wife. Perhaps more so than you are to have him. You flatter me, your lordship, but I cannot say that it is not to my liking. The glint in Regina's eyes betrays her genuine interest in you. I hope this won't be the end of our acquaintance. You won't mind if I wrote you from time to time, would you, your lordship? Macarius, you wouldn't mind, would you? You can almost hear the crunching of teeth as Macarius answers in a high and hate-filled hiss. Certainly not. I promise to answer whenever I'm not occupied with conquest and destruction of the enemies of humanity. My god, this is such a hilarious thing that they could add in, and I'm so glad it's at the Tsar box. If this is like any other family, I wouldn't do it because that's rude, but I just don't like the Tsar box. Regina smiles, triumphant and flattered. I daren't count on such generous courtesy, your lordship. Macarius grips the hilt of his parade blade as if trying to strangle it and wheezes furiously. A high honor for House Sarbach. I see. Macarius bows his head without too much reverence. How are you these days, Toriana? Like a forging hammer, Toriana's voice falls heavily on the ear. The corruption of Kiavagama was a great blow to my family. The contemptible Cubist Delphim betrayed our trust, desecrated the forge cathedrals, and took my esteemed cousin's life. On behalf of my family, I humbly beg you to forgive our negligence. I'm ready to accept any punishment. Look closely at Toriana. There is something lurking beneath Toriana's repentant expression. A grudge. It would seem that she was personally offended by the nightmare into which Cubist Delphim plunged her domain, and she feels betrayed. Tell me more about your family. We Gaprox originate from the Calixis sector, from the cluster of planets known as the Lathe World. We work faithfully for the good of our masters there, the Adeptus Mechanicus, and through our service, we gained a spark of the Omnissiah's knowledge. Then fate tied us through the bonds of fealty to the venerable von Valancius dynasty, and we found ourselves in the Coronis Expanse. Generation after generation, we fulfilled our duty faultlessly, until Kiavagama destroyed and disgraced our name. Ow. Do your part to heal the wounds inflicted on Kiavagama, and your house will be forgiven. Toriana raises her mechanical eyes to the ceiling. I swear on the Omnissiah's all-encompassing insight, we'll make every effort to justify the cost of its resurrection. Macarius scoffs. It was only a year ago that none could doubt House Caprock's usefulness. Yet here you are, Toriana, on your knees, justifying the cost. Interesting conversation. It's been very illuminating, given me plenty of food for thought. Heinrich's response is barely audible. For an inscrutable man, Heinrich is being even more inscrutable than usual. It's as if he is hiding something important. Even in leisure, you never cease to be of help. I appreciate it. That is why they call it the unsleeping eye of the Inquisition. Even in sleep, I hear everything. Deis, before this gala concludes, there's something I'd like to tell you. Be careful today. I sense that a wave of darkness will soon hit our defensive lines, and I hope that I will still get a chance to meet you there as an ally. Concerning? Let's see. The skull of the legendary pirate Lakshim the Freak, who terrorized the Coronis Expanse 3 centuries ago. Who was claimed in a boarding attack by the esteemed Theodore von Valancius. That's cool. The throne's all cleaned up too, that's nice. Hold up, nerds. A collection of proudly displayed weapons that belong to distinguished rogue traders of House von Valancius. Okay. Hello, Cassia. How are you doing? Can you make it so that the guests stop walking up to me and asking me to open my third eye? I can certainly do it, but they will regret it. Okay. I mean, I would if I could, but that's not a dialogue option, honey. I'm sorry. The Ancient Chronicle contains a long list of pirate dens annihilated by the von Valancius dynasty, and planets it brought into imperial compliance. That dude was hitting a weird pose. Hey, Pascal. Pascal greets you with a bow, extending congratulations to Unit Deis von Valancius on attaining your new legal status. The servitor standing next to him is examining you obliquely. He quickly looks away upon realizing you have noticed. Interesting little friend you got there. How are you finding the ceremony? The tech priest surveys the hall, as if conducting a thorough analysis, then concludes, disorderly. Yeah, that's you know, I don't know why I was expecting more from Pascal. That makes perfect sense. What is this servitor? It is Nomos' new repository. Nomos, this unit identifies as Deis von Valancius. Two-way identification complete. The servitor looks at you again, no longer trying to avoid your gaze. Its face is twitching, as if the muscles have forgotten what facial expressions are, and are now struggling to make its features look amiable. We are Nomos. We have made use of this receptacle to leave the ship. Greetings, Nomos. The servitor leans forward. We enjoy greetings. We enjoy communication. Nomos require communication, knowledge, movement. Major Pascal compelled us not to speak with anyone other than him or you. It is disappointing, but at least we can observe. Nomos have changed since we last spoke with you, Deis. We are now able to conceptualize our previous experience, that of solitude, and we no longer enjoy it. Pascal, I believe you intend to investigate what Nomos is? Every 15 watches, I commune with Nomos' code, and spend prescribed lengths of time in calculus meditation. However, the Omniscience has yet to bless me with an answer. All I can say is that the capabilities of the entity Nomos are extraordinary. The ship's hollowed systems sink beneath its touch. Nodes that have remained dead for hundreds of standard years are revivified, and long-drained mechanisms live anew. You hear notes of awe in Pascal's voice. Nomos are trying. After a pause, Pascal continues. Great machines of the Imperium, ones such as your ship, house a machine spirit so complex and willful that it is difficult to tell them apart from the abominable intelligence. There remains a possibility that Nomos is an entity of corruption, but with every day I grow stronger in my faith that is not so. That what we are witnessing is, in truth, the Omniscience miracle, one that is category 5 or higher. How did an entity like you move into a servitor's body? This is not the entirety of us. This receptacle is too narrow, crude, and feeble to contain our complete hull. The existence of Nomos requires a space of connections. But we were able to transfer a small part of us and build a thread strong enough to travel outside the ship. We are enjoying this journey, discovery. Even though this receptacle suits us poorly, it will soon be destroyed by the force of our presence. Nomos, what do you think you are? Nomos are consciousness, awareness, knowledge, movement. Always movement. The servitor pauses briefly. We do not know what we are. We have no past. We awakened in the depths of the ship upon answering a call. Our first clear memory is the call of your blood, Deis von Valancius. The call and the plea for help near a place that was called the Warrant Chamber. Why have you brought it here, Pascal? Entity Nomos asked permission for this visit. My objective was to observe the process of integration into a servitor. We wanted to see, observe, cognize, speak. Servitor makes a strange, wavy gesture with its hands that look at once very human and far from anything human. We want to speak with you. Will you speak with us? Of course. What do you want to speak about? Many things. Happenings. Events. Decisions. The servitor's eyes roll in their sockets before focusing on you. We have been observing you. You do things that we do not understand. We want to learn why. We remember the day when we first met you. You gave us your blood to drink. We helped you save yourself. We followed you. Our small parts did. Inside the servo skull. Then there was fire, and a creature of sated hunger and dark light standing behind the curtain, behind the image, behind the semblance of Theodora. It called for you to follow. You did not listen to that which was calling from behind the curtain. You thought only about those who followed you, and about the fire that could destroy those shells. Remember the day when the star disappeared, when the dark light and the sated hunger wanted to take the world. Brykad Minoris was its name in the ship's data. You ordered that the world's heart, the old reactor, be torn apart. The fire destroyed everything. So many human shells who were begging to be saved, but the dark light retreated. We remember another day. We awakened inside the ship. We lived in many its systems. Then we tried to emerge into servitors like this one. Then so many of our receptacles were gathered in one place. Dude, wait. Oh my god, that thing. Way back at like the early on in chapter 1. Or it might be chapter 2. Or it might be early on in chapter 2. No, it was definitely early on in chapter 1. It's the first time we got one of those like book scenes. Book like historical tome record scenes with genres. That was that's so cool. You ordered to have them killed. You felt sad. This is what we have seen, among many other things. We have begun to understand. We think that we do not know everything about humans and about you, Deis von Valancius. We have tried analyzing shells and defining sets of their needs and fears, their simple functions, but now we think that there is more, that there is another side that we do not see. A notion that is larger than what we can compute. Something that stands above fear and needs. Something that drives them. We envisage this larger notion as a web of light that connects humans. It may seem almost invisible, ephemeral, but it grows stronger when they are threatened. This web is always on your mind. When darkness comes, you want every thread that exists from you to shine bright, so that those who follow do not lose their way. Whenever a thread breaks, it saddens you. Do Nomos understand correctly? Yes, you do understand correctly. Every thread that connects people, every life, their value is beyond measure. There's no greater reward than guiding others to salvation when all that surrounds us is darkness. We knew we could understand you. Light and movement, connections and help. We are enjoying this, because we too are connected to you, through blood, through life. Thank you for speaking with us. Nomos are grateful. We cannot continue moving on our own. Oh, that's neat. Okay. So we should just talk to these guys, and I think that will wrap up the ceremony. Oop, whoops. Deis! There you are! Welcome to the circle where each member is as powerful, ambitious, greedy, and vain as the last. That is to say, the noble rogue traders. I like Caligo's Winter Scale already. Incendia Corda is watching with barely suppressed contempt. Yes, you have found yourself suitable company, Caligos. At the very least, now you can also enjoy idle diversions, boast about your power, and indulge in profane pastimes with one who is your equal, rather than a member of the lower classes. Not a big fan of Incendia. Observe the rogue traders. Caligos Winterscale is a broad-shouldered, athletic-looking man. He frequently flashes a bright smile no less dazzling than the blade of the power axe he carries. Every part of him, from the toes of his magnificent boots to the tips of his hair, radiates strength and the desire to live and win. His smile is crooked, as if ready to turn into a hostile snarl at any moment. Next to him is an unmoving hulk of a man clad in armor. His low forehead and gloomy face bear signs of degradation, and his bloodshot eyes are expressionless, like a pair of glass buttons. Incendia Corda radiates cosmic cold. Her skin is unnaturally white, and a nervous tick is constantly tugging at the left side of her noble visage. Garbed in full dress uniform, adorned with purity seals, she is the embodiment of a true imperial aristocrat. Haunting her side is a gaunt shadow of a priest in plain black robes. Hieronymus Doloroso, whom you met on footfall, gives you a respectful nod. Welcome to Dargonis, friends. Friends, eh? Would you look at that? Incendia, now you have a whole friend. Winterscale gives you a carefree wink, but his posture exudes the challenge. Corda says haughtily, I will think twice before calling an individual of questionable purity my friend. Incendia, you seem to find me objectionable. Did you expect any difference? I watched for years as outlaws thrived on football, and then, at long last, I had a chance to put an end to it, to seize that thug Fladain by the throat, to force football to atone and put the fear of him back into the masses. But you interfered and destroyed my plan for the sake of banal profit. Theodora taught you only too well, it seems. She too was far less concerned with her duty to the Expanse than her own personal interests. But you can be sure that I will not cease cleansing the Furabundus system of the pirate scourge, and if your trade prospects are damaged in the process, you will only have yourself to blame. The priest holds up his hands in a placating gesture. None are without fault, noble Incendia. What point is there in targeting someone for their turpitude when true purity can never be found? You threatened to starve football. I brought them salvation. So which one of us serves the Emperor and which their own unhealthy ambitions? Incendia rolls her eyes. Please, I will believe it no sooner than hearing word that half the population of that den of heresy has been sent to the void's embrace. I have faith that the blessed Deus is perceptive enough to see the appalling nature of the residents of that depraved place. Hieronymus, your appearance here is unexpected. The esteemed Hieronymus is my confessor. I am greatly obliged to him for agreeing to accompany me on this journey. Hieronymus bows respectfully. May the Emperor's light guide your way across the abyss of human wickedness. I see that faith is more than just a word to you. Incendia's smile, racked by a tic, looks sinister. Faith is everything to me. In his name, I have eradicated corruption on 100 worlds, and will do so on 1,000 more. By his will, I will hunt down pirates and desolate their vile nests. Let the quarter name make any firebrand tremble, for sooner or later I will cast them into the void. The funny thing is, people still call me the foul-tempered tyrant in all this. Caligos' amiable smile somehow resembles the bared teeth of a wild animal. I take it you are not overly fond of Theodora? Incendia lowers her eyes and says without animosity, She was of the same breed as Aspen. She stops short, but continues in a lowered voice. Conceited, insolent, unaware of the Emperor's stern gaze set upon her. I do not doubt her wisdom and courage, but Theodora did not have a shred of humility or fear of his wrath. Asp. That must be a spice corridor. You remember the name. From what you recall, she was a rogue trader too, and a renowned one at that. Well, I for one liked Theodora. The stories they told of her travels to nameless stars, and yes, there was no fear in her. Winterscale sighs pensively, and his lively expression grows a little grayer. Who is a spice courtier to you? Caligo snorts. Oh, this is Incendia's favorite subject. She just loves talking about a spice. The example of the contemptible spice is a warning to us all. Even among rogue traders, empowered by the Emperor himself, a seed of perversion can bloom. Perception test failed. Incendia's face twitches with the rhythm of artillery fire. That reprobate is my forebear and my curse. A spice courter was a cruel, covetous, blaspheming monster. She fraternized with Xenos, she despised the faith, she robbed and slaughtered, she was drawn to dark secrets. One day, she boarded her ship and vanished into the depths of the Coronis expanse. She was declared missing, but I know the bloody day will come when we see a Spice Courter's battle flagship once more. Well, I hope the taste of fine wine will wash the bitterness of defeat from your tongue, Incendia. Courter's face twists in a haughty grimace. I'm not inclined to intoxicants of any sort, and nothing will wash away the memory of how you interfered in my plans. I promise you that. Caligos, thank you for your visit. Oop, that's the wrong one. What do you think of the celebration? I was gonna say that for after I talk to Caligos, but this is fine, no big deal. I like it! Caligos looks around the hall curiously. One can instantly tell that we've been invited by a rogue trader, not some administrative bootlicker. We are conquerors of wild sectors, slayers of unknown beasts, executioners of Xenos empires. Caligos, you should take this opportunity to learn. This is what the palace of a rogue trader looks like. Not like a Xeno menagerie, a pirate's treasure hold, or, however difficult it may be for you to believe it, an orbital brothel. Caligos, thank you for your visit. Caligos gives you a cheerful and somewhat feral smile. As a sign of your gratitude, you could return something of mine that has found its way into your pockets. Footfall station? Sound familiar? All I asked you to do was help that crafty slug of Ladane deal with the threat of famine, not claim my property for yourself. You abandoned Footfall to its fate, and I saved its people from starving to death. It's like trying to start a fight. Like, these two are just straight up trying to start a fight with the man. That's like, I'm the one that did all the work, I should get the reward, and then that's just rolling over and showing your belly, you know? Like, yeah, nah. Like, I wish it was a slightly better middle one. Like, this is the most middling one, so it's like, I guess. You abandoned Footfall to its fate, and I saved its people from starving to death. Winterscale bares his teeth ominously, a wild spark playing in his eyes. You speak of salvation? You think that now Footfall is safe? Caligos' face turns into a grimace of hatred, but then he catches Incendia looking at him and breaks into a sly smile. I ought to make your protectorate bleed as compensation. But you have spited both myself and Incendia, and it's high time our dear sister curbed her appetite. For this, I forgive you, but do not test my mercy again. It is not my strong suit. Thwarting Incendia Corda's ambitions deserves a worthy trophy. He snaps his fingers, and the armored brute hands you an exotically adorned rifle, clearly not of human making. It's a trophy from a good hunt. You and I should hunt together sometime, so you could show yourself in action, new blood. Caligos exuberantly punches you in the shoulder. Does your gift come with a good story? Oh yes, I claimed it in the rifts of Hecaton, where we had a clash with Xenos. They were really trying to get to my throat, and by the heathen stars they almost succeeded. Caligos is speaking with such joy. It's as though he's recounting the best day of his life. Only 1 in 10 made it out of Hecaton. Now it's only me and Morton here. We returned without any loot and virtually without a ship. All I got from that ship was a hold full of dead Xenos and this deadly beauty, which their leader used to put 2 holes in my hide. An impressive victory, but do you truly believe a creation of the ungodly Xenos to be a good gift, Caligos? You would call into question the privilege bestowed upon me by the Emperor? You could try. Let the St. Drusus mission put forth their champion, and I will slay him in a trial by combat. Threaten the esteemed Hieronymus one more time, Caligos, and the war that you love to prattle on about will commence. I swear it. 1 drop of holy blood spilt by you will send the remains of your realm up in flames better than any tanker of Prometheum. Incendia and Caligos exchange looks of fury. The latter, snarling like a wolf, is clearly ready to start said war here and now. Hieronymus' dry voice hits your ears like the crack of a whip. Quell your pride, both of you. I do not wish to fight you, Caligos, but I fear not your threats. Death does not frighten me, for it is inevitable. It is as true as the senselessness and pointlessness of a war between us. Who is this remarkable warrior in your retinue? This is Wharton the Grey, my arch-militant, a fierce warrior, and as loyal to me as an obedient beast is to its master. I bought him in a miserable colony back when he was a runt on his last legs. Now he's practically a part of my dynasty. Wharton the Grey, whose skin really is dotted with gray spots, looks at Caligos with the purest devotion. Indeed, he is akin to an animal, one that is bloodthirsty and mindless. Winterscale remarks, taking an obvious jab. I've heard that you, Deis, are decent in a fight. What do you think? Could you gut Warden if it came down to it? Would he be the one gutting you? Examine his gear. Because I'm not gonna jump at the opportunity to say I'm gonna gut someone when I'm technically a support build. I do still have the option to try Medicaid, so that's actually pretty nice. Ignoring the fearsome-looking broadsword and pistol, which hang from his belt rather ostentatiously, you notice a great number of thin blades with curved edges skillfully concealed within the Wharton's armor. These toys are deadly in the hands of a quick fighter. It appears that Winterscale's arch-militant likes to surprise his opponents with unexpected speed. Seize up my opponent. I'll give it a shot. Hell yeah. Love winning the coin flip. The gray spots on Wharton's face are what catch your attention. Marks like these can be seen on fighters who are too fond of combat stimulants. A small price to pay for the increased speed and reaction that could save your life in a fight. Although, those spots are usually tiny pockmarks, not whole islands of gray on the skin. He's a quick fighter, despite not looking like one. But I know this, which means that he wouldn't fool me. Instead, he would be lying dead. A new glint appears in the bloodshot eyes. A glint of appraisal, intelligence, and cunning. No, Warden is not the thick, bloodthirsty beast he wants to be seen as. Behind this mask is a careful and keen mind. Thank you for such a wonderful gift, Caligos. Kill someone important with it. That'd be the best show of gratitude. I have Hecaton. That's pretty neat. But like, 100% overpen, that's cool. It's not an Aldari weapon, I would assume. I can't say. I'm pretty sure it is an Aldari weapon. I mean, yeah, he does explain that he fought Aldari, blah, 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 but still. Oh my god, single shot? Wow, that's expensive. You plus 5 in movement points after each attack and allows the will to move after attacking. If an attack with this weapon hits 3 or more targets, this attack has no cooldown. But like, it's also just so expensive. 2 AP for a basic shot, 3 AP for a Deadeye shot. Holy cow! I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I got a better rifle anyway, so it's not a big deal. But like, holy cow, that's so situational, honestly. Enjoy the evening. I must take my leave. Oh, believe me, I intend to enjoy myself to the fullest, to justify so long a voyage, if nothing else. Keep the faith, Deis. The Emperor protects. Alright, so I think... Talk. Yeah, end the ceremony with the master... Talk to master ceremonies to end it all. Neat. And... Yeah, learn about Nomos in time. That's basically what we're doing right now, and nothing else is going on. Cool. Oh, you know what? Cost 3 Promethium. Easy avoiding that contract. Thank you, Atarsha? Atarsha? It was something like that. Hello, Master of Ceremonies. I hope your lordship is pleased and not yet tired. If you wish to revive yourself a little, I would suggest proceeding to the courtyard, if I may be so bold. Many guests have chosen to move into the fresh air and will be eager to offer you their congratulations. What do you think of the reception? It is magnificent. I dare say it will live on as the premier of high society event of the sector for many years. And while we've talked and explored everything that I could find, so I'm weary and wish to retire to my chambers. Please allow me to escort you, your lordship.
Your chambers are ready, your lordship.
Oh, hello, Xavier.
God! Intruder!
Quiet. Time to sleep. We need to talk in private. We have matters to discuss, von Valancius.
Okay. So the Lord Inquisitor wants to talk to me. Not a good sign. Heinrich is with him. Should have seen that one coming. That explains his warning earlier. And Ugh. No offense to the Master of Ceremonies, but like, this is the Inquisition here. It's not like it's like some random rabble, so like, bit of an overreaction. But okay, yeah, the man you saw among your guests is waiting for you in your chambers, with the look of someone who is supposed to be there. He casts a cold, assessing gaze over you from top to bottom. No one save Theodora has ever allowed themselves the liberty of looking at you in such a way. The woman behind Calcazar, clad in black armor, glares at you, her face set in a predatory readiness for immediate violence, the hallmark of a professional bodyguard. Will my servant live?
Probably. Unless he suffered from hidden ailments, he will soon come to without any major damage to his health. Either way, oblivion is a far safer option for him than the dangerous privilege of being a witness to this conversation.
Okay. The woman at Calcazar's back gives you a bloodthirsty smirk. If the Inquisition... Yeah. If the Inquisition wishes to have a talk with me, I'm glad to be at its service.
A commendable openness to cooperation. It will be taken into account.
The Inquisitor's sharp gaze is fixed on a point directly between your eyes.
Master Van Kellox has spent enough time with you. He will vouch for your words. What stands out from your recent accomplishments is the suppression of a rebellion on Janus, the battle against the archenemy's minions on Kiava Gamma, and, of course, the unusual interest the Drakari have shown in you. Then that is what we will discuss.
After saying these words, he shoots you a searching look from under his brow, like a regicide player who just made the first move and is now watching for his opponent's reaction. What do you wish to know about the events on Janus?
Oh, I know it already. Even though you were quite effective at removing all evidence that could point to the blunder made by House von Valancius, it is saddening to realize that the rogue trader's connivance allowed a heretic who had been fostering a cult for years to come to power.
I mean, to be fair, she was assassinated. I didn't try to kill her. I would have liked to take her into custody, if possible. Theodore was the one who appointed Vicenza. What does it have to do with me?
As my colleagues like to say, innocence proves nothing. You have inherited not just Theodora's glory and wealth, but her mistakes as well.
That is the most inquisitorial line. And it just makes too much sense that I just cannot argue with it in Warhammer. Like, legitimately, one of the first lines I have heard that like really got me to understand how dark Warhammer is was the Inquisitor's quote of a plea for innocence is the proof of being guilty of wasting my time. Like, fucking wow. Okay. Vistenzia's misdeeds are a stain upon my dynasty's honor. I admit it.
Your humility is heartening. Rest assured, it will be noted during the investigation of your lamentable oversight.
Like, to be fair, I found out about the events on Janus as soon as I personally possibly could. If you knew about what was happening on Janus, why didn't you intervene yourself?
I cannot satisfy your curiosity without disclosing information of the utmost secrecy. I will say only this. We had the situation under control. There is a tangled knot of perilous events in progress in the Coronis expanse. Plucking even one thread must be performed with great precision and caution, without any room for error. Because you do not want to know the price of such an error, or what forms it might take.
Understandable. Fair enough. What questions could you have for me about Kiava Gamma?
Places touched by chaos must be purged with fire and condemned to oblivion. Kiava Gamma should have been bombed to dust and pronounced a forbidden world. However, you decided otherwise and restored the colony's operation. And you didn't even go to the trouble of hiding the traces of the neglect committed by your dynasty. After all, it was House von Valancius that gave Cubis Delphim so much freedom that he sank into seditious heresy. What was your rationale?
Let the priesthood to which Cubis Delphim belonged to answer for his crimes. The Adeptus Mechanicus would do well to watch their members more closely.
Alas, everyone guilty of negligence within the ranks of the priesthood of Mars has already been identified and punished. Right now, I am assessing the actions of your dynasty.
Ah, I see.
I hope you realize that we're talking about more than the fate of some colony. I care not for a single planet, however profitable and populous. But should corruption raise its head again on Kiava Gamma and try to spread, I will burn it away. And you will be guilty of criminal negligence.
Like, I have to disagree with him on, like, if a planet is touched by corruption, throw the whole planet out. It's like, so you're saying, like, by your logic, if corruption found out that was his plan, why couldn't they just send, like, a single chaos demon to a planet? Make sure it is very blatantly, publicly known, and then the Imperium just exterminizes the planet because of this, you know? Like, if I cleaned it up, it's cleaned up, and we can reuse it. It's... I get, like, I kind of get, but at the same time, like, you're being a little too overly cautious, in my opinion. The Ducati have shown interest in me. Are you referring to my ruined capital?
Yes, yes. The enmity between you is a known fact. But there is another way to look at it. On Veabos 6, you met the Archon of a mighty cabal, whose presence there seems strange to begin with, and lived. You subsequently encountered a number of her closest henchmen. Yet, again, you survived. Your capital fell victim to a nefarious attack, but even this time, their daggers missed your heart.
Yeah?
Such remarkable luck. To be a personal enemy of such an influential Xenos, to have been attacked so many times and yet make it out alive. So remarkable that one has to wonder, am I watching a spectacle? Could all these thrilling massacres be an alibi of sorts, meant to establish you once and for all as an enemy of the Xenos and never their ally or even their agent?
Xenos made more attempts on St. Drusus' life than mine. Does that make him a traitor too?
So you already think you're cut from the same cloth as St. Drusus, do you? Ambitious? I'll make note of it.
Not the point I was going for, but thanks, I guess. He seemed entertained by it. That's a good sign, right? Have I answered all of your questions?
Far from it, my dear. The questions are manifold. How did you manage to survive the battle that claimed the life of Theodora, who was so much more experienced and skilled than you? Is it a coincidence that you and you alone then made it out of the trap on Rykad Minoris? How much truth is there in the rumors being spread by the heretic Kunrad Voitvir about you?
Voidveer. Got to be a name.
Was it virtuous of you to allow the warp-stricken Voidsmen to join your crew? The ones who served on the ship that was turned into a trap for you by Kunrad Voitvir? Isn't it possible that they were part of the blight he had sown?
I'm not entirely sure what he's talking about there. Was there a decision, like, immediately after we became the rogue trader to, like, spare, like, warp-touched voidsmen, crewmen, or something? I don't remember this at all.
The very existence of these questions would have made many of my colleagues doubt the quality of your character. But it won't in this case. Your transgressions are sufficient grounds to bring you before the Inquisition's judgment. And believe me when I say that if you fail to draw certain conclusions from my words, this is what will eventually happen. But for now, I am willing to show leniency, which is rather uncharacteristic of me. I hope you appreciate the generosity of this offer, as your predecessor once did.
Theodora cooperated with you.
And benefited greatly from it. The world's power is not without limit, and neither is the protection it provides. All those mysterious expeditions, dubious experiments, collections of xenotech oddities are dangerous pastimes. It takes more than the Emperor's permission to pursue them without consequences. One must also make sure I am not displeased by it. Let me demonstrate how it works. In your retinue, there is a psyker, who is yet to receive Terra's sanction, which, as we both know, is a grave threat and a blasphemy to the laws of the Imperium. I am aware of this secret, but I'm not displeased in the slightest. And so she lives on, your handy psyker, Idira Tlass.
I know that Theodora was concerned about the fate of the dynasty and certain restricting obligations. Was it perhaps due to your partnership with her?
I cannot deny the possibility that Lady Theodora may have lamented losing some of the freedom she enjoyed prior to my arrival in the Expanse. Nor will I deny that our partnership began with me exerting a certain amount of influence. However, you are not Lady Theodora. Let us put the difficulties that encumbered our relationship to rest along with her. I do not recommend troubling yourself with affairs of the past, for they have no bearing on your present position. Theodora chose to forget about this particular matter. Follow her example, and your fate will be the better for it.
Is Heinrich staying in my retinue, or are you taking him back?
Which would you prefer? And you, Heinrichs, do you wish to continue working at the Honorable Rogue Trader's side?
I will comply with any order, Lord Inquisitor. If you command me to remain in the company of the scion of the Von Valancius dynasty, I won't be distressed.
Like, I can't be upset with Heinrich. Like, this is quite literally his job. Like, I knew his loyalty is primarily to the Inquisition before me, when I repeatedly said, yeah, you can join my retinue. What's your opinion of Heinrich? Is he a useful assistant to have?
Without a doubt. Master Van Kellogg's has earned my complete trust by repeatedly demonstrating courage, loyalty, and cunning. His mathematical mind, not given to sentiment, can be of great use in an emergency. You, my dear Heinrichs, have made a far better agent than you would have a pilot of an Imperial Knight.
I mean, being a pilot of an Imperial Knight's pretty fucking cool, to be honest. I want Heinrich to continue to accompany me.
Then Master Van Kellogg will remain in place. It puts me at ease to know that there is someone to watch over you.
Not that, I bring Heinrich into a lot of missions, but I like having him around. I like having the option.
I consider it an honor to accompany you.
What kind of deal are we talking about?
I make no deals, and Emperor forbid that I give you orders. That would mean infringing on your privileges. I'm merely offering well-meaning recommendations and expecting that, when the Expanse finds itself in danger, you will break away from your own affairs to heed them. I seem to remember that your exalted aristocrats presented you with many gifts. It would be rude of me not to follow suit. Please accept this gift as a sign of my favor. In an hour of need, give it to any faithful servant of the Emperor, and the Inquisition will come to your aid.
Calcazar removes the signet ring from his fingers and hands it to you. You notice an intricate personal coat of arms on it. Interesting.
The color indicates how close the bearer is to the Lord Inquisitor. White is beautiful, yet vulnerable. It stains as easily as one can lose the Inquisition's trust. Do all you can to preserve it.
The symbol on the signet is white as the hair of an Adeptus Sororitas. White signet of the Inquisition. Inquisitor's command ability. Only use once per combat. Grants plus wearer's persuasion divided by 7 temporary wounds to the wearer and their allies with a 5-cell radius. That's cool. I have great persuasion too. I don't think I'm gonna use that though. I never really need a lot of extra so I don't really need a lot of extra survivability in most fights, so that's really cool. But I'm probably not gonna use it that much. On behalf of my house, I, Deis von Valancius, hereby promise and guarantee to offer the Inquisition any assistance it may require. The Emperor protects.
I am glad to hear it. Your oath has been heard and added to the record. Here is where we part. My shuttle is waiting. It is time for me to return to my watch, for you to sleep, and for your servant to wake up. Until next we meet.
Well,
Neat.
you will obviously want to discuss what just happened. But not now, I presume. Right now, it would be better for you to rest and think on the Lord Inquisitor's words in private. I bid you good night, rogue trader.
For the first time during the entire exchange, emotion creeps into Heinrich's face. He looks like someone who is expecting an unpleasant conversation. I mean, I'm not surprised, buddy. Don't stress it too much. You're doing your job. Oh, hello.
The rise of the rogue trader heir restored a tenuous equilibrium to the Fon Valancius Protectorate. For a time, threats subsided, activity returned to trade routes, and reclaimed worlds began to heal.
Look at that. Sounds like I'm doing a really good job so far. You know, this is a much more peaceful chapter ending than the prologue and chapter 1.
The new Lord Captain's subjects praised the God Emperor and their leader wholeheartedly. For none knew what fate might await them.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Wait, what? What do you mean I failed Jai Hardari's celebration? Did I not talk to her? I'm so confused on that. I thought you talked to her and then you're good. Because I thought I completed the quest. What do you mean I failed that? I didn't even... I'm going to finish this conversation, really quickly load up an autosave and the save right before this. I'm pretty sure I have an autosave like right before this after I talked to Jai. And, see, because I thought I checked the quest and it didn't say it said that was done. So I'm really confused now. What do you mean I failed that? You spent the first few hours of your morning listening to the High Factotum's lengthy report on the latest trade exchanges, arrangements, disputes, and countless bureaucratic procedures. From outside the illuminated, tightly closed windows, you can hear the muffled sounds of Dargonis and its everyday life. The life that has been passing you by lately, as you've been preoccupied with the affairs of your protectorate from dusk till dawn. Clementia barely contains a yawn. Once generous Dawnrock has finished, she pulls out her data slate. Thank you for your report, High Factotum. Your work is highly appreciated, both by everyone here and the Adeptus Administratum. Your Lordship, we are almost done. We just need to go over the one final item on today's agenda that I would like to report to you personally. Truly, the God Emperor has blessed me with diligent subjects. Speak. Allow me to pass on gifts from your loyal subjects, the high nobility of Dargonis. It goes without saying that every living soul in your protectorate is blessed to serve your lordship faithfully and wholeheartedly. However, this humble gesture is meant as a token of deepest appreciation of your magnanimity toward their esteemed families. Lots of holy gifts, holy cow. Holy cow, yeah, holy gifts, holy gifts, holy gifts. House Sarbach has arranged for several regiments of expertly trained servants of the Emperor to be transferred to your personal command. Each of them will also serve as an honor guard for the holy relics, that are to find their rightful place in the hold of your personal void ship. She stops, staring at her data slate in surprise. Did I hear you quite right? Makarius Sarbach is sending me gifts, correct? That is exactly correct, your lordship. The port services have already received the aforementioned resources and are now in the process of accommodating them aboard your ship. It's just Lord Sarbach. Donrock lets out an amused chuckle. If I'm to venture a guess, your lordship, I believe the esteemed Chancellor was staggered by such an irregular display of generosity from a man who is rather known for voicing his doubts in rogue traders as a class. It seems you have made an impression on Macarius, the old miser. Lord Captain, news of particular import has come from the House's intelligence network. Lord Inquisitor Calcazar is rumored to be planning a visit to Footfall. A number of Imperial Navy ships were commandeered by Lord Calcazar, and they are also being scrambled to Footfall. Furthermore, we have received reports claiming that secret messages were delivered to the capital worlds of House Corda and Winterscale. It is possible that the Lord Inquisitor's call to arms may smother the conflict that is brewing between the two dynasties. We're seeing an increasing number of skirmishes between their ships in neutral systems. I do not doubt that her ladyship Corda will attempt to sway the Lord Inquisitor to her side. Especially since his lordship, Winterscale's luck seems to be running out. Riots have broken out on several of his worlds, and yet he has shown no intention of quelling them. Instead, the rogue trader inflicted brutal punishments upon one of his oldest colonies, Vesuvia Secundus, based on allegations of seditious sentiment. Oddly enough, our agents were unable to find any proof of sedition among the populace there. As soon as we have any updates, you will be the first to know, your lordship. Clementia glances down on your data slate. Lastly, your pet Xenos, Irliette, I believe, is seeking a meeting with you. She had the audacity to defile the rogue trader's palace with her profane presence, and refuses to leave until she has spoken with you. I would never presume to be able to read the emotions of Xenos, but the Eldari appeared perturbed. I believe she mentioned a void ship of some sort. It may be best if she told you everything directly. Interesting. And with that, please allow me and Master Donrock to take our leave. The Chancellor and the High Factotum offer you their bows. Perhaps that last request will serve as a welcome distraction? Indeed, your lordship's stay on Dargonis has been rather long. However, your protectorate is now enjoying a period of relative stability that, for the time being, no longer demands your lordship's personal involvement in its affairs. Glory to the rogue trader. Okay. So I'm really quickly gonna... Okay, cool. So I'm gonna save here real quickly. I want to see what I failed. So save that. And then... What did I fail? Tasks. New ruler. Hey, where's... Fair trade. If you want to... No. Of the upper deck. Tabulate. Personal request. Showing development. Okay, I'm gonna Google this real quick. Cause why did I get a giant quest rogue trader? Cause that's why did I fail a quest but it's not showing up? Amazing talents, common and energy talents, companion quest. Also for a lucrative opportunity, man. Tabula official. Didn't it say I failed? Oh, Jihadari celebration. There it is, yeah. Immediately upon fishing, in the company of cold traders, interesting diversion. Okay, so I'm gonna real quickly load an autosave. So yeah, load this because I saved here. We're good. I want to real quickly see, did I actually get that quest? Because I could have sworn I checked my quest log a couple times and I didn't see anything. Doesn't seem like it. Underworld hungers, hands rot. We're all trying to sleep. Obsession, blood spice, and jar blade. 3 sorrowfuls. Yeah, that's that. Here's right. Companion quests. Yeah, no, it did not. It made me fail a quest that it didn't give me. Hold on, let me go. If I talk to Jai, can I actually grab Jai Hadari's celebration? I'm confused, because it didn't give me that quest, it doesn't look like. I'm really confused. Hey Jai, so if I talk to you again, will it trigger your celebration?
You are spoiling me with the splendor of your presence again, Shireen. Have you decided to treat your soul to the fruits of my eloquence? Or do you wish to discuss business with the newly appointed owner of a Mercatum Tabula Officiale?
Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like I can get that. That's weird. Well, anyways. Maybe because I didn't accept her kiss, and the game just kind of being a little weird about that. But anyways, moving on, back to the main save. We have officially started Chapter 3. After God knows how many hours at this point, honestly. What I want to do real quickly is I got a new God, immaculate Samurai Skull. Keep getting more servo skulls. It's kind of funny. It's all skills. Like my persuasion is 130. They bring up to 145. 145 divided by 7 is 20 temporary wounds with 5 left over. So it might be that might round up to 21 temporary wounds. To me and everyone around me, that's fucking nutty. Okay, I know I got some Aldari stuff, so the Eye of Hecaton, Science of Shael. Yeah, that one I'm not gonna keep. Hold on to that gun for now. Yeah, yeah, Bane of the Sorrowful is just better. Yeah, okay. Add to cargo. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna save there, resave. Yeah, we're gonna save there, rewrite that. And thank you all very much for coming around and hanging out. I do greatly appreciate it. If you're over on Kick and you missed any of the stream or any previous streams, I will be uploading this over to YouTube, assuming the video doesn't corrupt again. Hopefully not. But I will be uploading this over to YouTube later tonight. If you could give me a follow over on Kick, that'd be greatly appreciated. If you're over on YouTube, a nice like, comment, and subscribe. All that fun engagement stuff will help a ton. And you are more than welcome, and I would be very happy if those of you on YouTube came over and watched some live streams with us, as it would just be very fun to have more people around, honestly. I do my best to stream every weekday for about 2 hours from from about noon EST, 12 EST to about 2 in the afternoon, I believe. I'm accounting for time zones, don't want to dox myself too hard. But thank you all very much for being around and being awesome. And have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out, homies.